What's the dumbest rule your school ever enforced? My high school banned walking counterclockwise in the hallways. I'm not kidding. Principal Garrett implemented this after reading some pseudoscience article about optimizing traffic flow patterns in educational environments. He spent $8,000 painting arrows on every floor, hired hallway monitors to enforce directional compliance, and instituted a 3-strike detention policy for wrong-way walkers. The first day was chaos. My locker was 20 feet to my left from chemistry class, but because of the new rule, I had to walk the entire perimeter of the building to reach it, a solid 4-minute journey. I watched kids miss classes because they couldn't figure out the approved route in time. The special education classroom was particularly affected. Students with mobility issues suddenly had to travel 3 times the distance to reach the cafeteria. But here's where it got insane. Garrett became obsessed with his system working. He installed mirrors at corners so monitors could catch violators. He drew up heat maps tracking student movement. He even brought in his brother-in-law, who supposedly had a degree in human logistics, to optimize the routes. The guy walked around with a clipboard for 3 days, timing students with a stopwatch. The breaking point came during a fire drill. We'd practiced evacuations for years. Everyone knew exactly where to go. But now, with the clockwise-only rule, half the school got trapped in a bottleneck near the gym. Kids were climbing over each other. The freshmen started crying. The fire marshal who observed the drill was furious. He pulled Garrett aside and I heard him shout, "You're forcing students to run toward a potential fire to follow arrows?" Parents started complaining when their kids came home with detention slips for directional non-compliance. My friend Diego got suspended for 3 days because he reflexively turned left to catch his girlfriend's dropped textbook. His mom, a lawyer, showed up the next day with a briefcase full of disability discrimination precedents. Turns out, forcing students with ADHD, autism, or processing disorders to follow complex directional patterns could violate federal law. The local news picked up the story after someone leaked security footage of a student having a panic attack, trapped between 2 hallway monitors because she couldn't figure out how to reach the nurse's office following the arrows. The headline read, "Local school spends thousands teaching kids to walk in circles." The school board called an emergency meeting. Parents packed the auditorium. One father stood up with a poster board showing his daughter's daily route. She was walking 2.3 miles inside the building just to attend her regular classes. A mom presented medical bills from her son's anxiety medication, which he started needing after getting multiple detentions for wrong-way walking. Garrett tried defending himself with a PowerPoint about preparing students for real-world traffic patterns. Someone in the back shouted, "It's a hallway, not a highway." The crowd erupted. The board voted unanimously to end the program. But Garrett wouldn't give up. He sent a school-wide email saying we were choosing chaos over innovation. He started personally patrolling the hallways with a whistle, even though the rule was officially dead. Teachers began openly defying him, walking counterclockwise while maintaining eye contact. The final straw came when Garrett tried to make the entire senior class late for graduation by forcing them to enter the auditorium clockwise, which would have meant walking outside around the entire building in their caps and gowns during a thunderstorm. The valedictorian led a revolt. All 300 seniors linked arms and walked straight through the main entrance. Garrett stood there, whistle in mouth, completely ignored. He resigned that summer. The new principal's first act was removing every arrow from the building. Cost another $3,000 to repaint the floors. On the first day of the next school year, she announced over the intercom, "Students, please walk to your classes. Direction is your choice." The psychology teacher now uses Garrett's policy as a case study in her unit on conformity and resistance. She still has one of the original arrows framed on her wall with a plaque underneath. Sometimes the shortest distance between 2 points is just walking there. Last month, I ran into Garrett at a grocery store. He was walking counterclockwise around the aisles. When he saw me notice, he quickly reversed direction. Some habits die hard, I guess. The store manager later told me Garrett had complained about their inefficient shopping patterns and offered to optimize their layout for a small consulting fee. They declined.